Chef and Sommelier Sessions, featuring Chef Narisa. I just cannot get enough of Chef Narisa's salty, nutty, chocolatey truffle balls. So I ventured out to her Queens neighborhood, also known as Little Guyana, to see how the magic happens. Guyana, officially the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, is a sovereign state of the northern mainland of South America. However, it is considered part of the Caribbean region because of its strong cultural, historical, and political ties to the Caribbean community. But before leaving Harlem for Queens, I stopped off at BTL for the proper wine for the pairing. Now that my job is done, ladies and gentlemen, Chef Narisa.
Hi guys, my name is Narisa and I'm a private chef. I love making sexy food, very artsy style food, and body art's also my thing. I do like food art and body art. So what I'm making for you guys today is a traditional Guyanese dessert called sugar cake. This is my spin on it. I've been making it for a long time now. I've taken it into different variations, and two of my favorite is what I'm going to be making today. So we love our alcohol, Guyanese, West Indian. We drink a lot of liquor, and my most favorite agent to it is Fireball. It's a cinnamon flavy whiskey, and it will be one of the big ingredients on this dish. So I have coconut, chocolate, and some fruit and nuts. And like I said, the Fireball will be in a caramel sauce that we're going to incorporate into this truffle. So we're going to start out by making our caramel, and that's the base for the truffle. It helps bind everything together, and you will have like an even base to roll a circle ball from. So ball sounds so dirty, but hey, it is a truffle ball. So I'm going to start by caramelizing my sugar. I have about 1 cup of sugar here, regular granulated sugar. So it needs to be nice and low. So it might take a while, but be careful. If your heat is too high, then the sugar will burn and it wouldn't have that nice caramel color. It'll have like a burnt sugar caramel. So you want it to go nice and low and slow. And you need all that sugar melted because it would harden up on you. So as you can see, you're almost there, but not quite yet, because you want all of the sugar to be melted. Make sure you lower the heat down so you don't have a super dark color caramel. So you're almost there. I had about 1 cup of sugar, and I'm gonna add about 1 cup of heavy cream. So very carefully add. You might not need all of the heavy cream because sometimes the ratio of the cream to sugar is not always exact. So if you add little of the cream at a time, you wouldn't end up with a very thin caramel, because you want it to be like a nice thick consistency. Once you stop seeing these chunks, then you'll know it's about ready. I'm gonna turn the heat on a little bit more so we can have it going. Okay. So this is the finishing stage of the caramel. As you can see, it's all bubbly. It thickened up. And to finish, I'm gonna add some butter to give it a nice smooth consistency. I'm gonna lower the temperature again. I mean, who does not like a caramel? It's so good with anything. So after the butter is melted, okay, so now you wanna add the Fireball. Let it rock. And now we add the coconut. So So I used a untoasted coconut because sometimes when you toast the coconut, it will get super dry, and you want it to be, you want to have that soft texture. You don't want it to be dried out or crunchy. You want it to have a moist, the dirtiest word ever, moist. You want it to have a moist texture. So it'll be, this is your flavor base. It's getting all cooked, low and slow, and this is where it rehydrates the coconut to give it more, a better, softer consistency. So now my flavoring, my additional flavoring would be, I'm a cardamom lover. I guess that's just the Indian side of me. I love cardamom. I incorporate in as much dessert as I possibly can. It's very overpowering. I would suggest not to go overboard with it. So what I have in here is ground nutmeg, ground cardamom, and a little bit of cinnamon to kind of balance off with the whiskey flavor. So now you want to add the spice in there. Just let it rock. It will start to build all the flavor. And just let it cook. And like I said, you want that coconut to rehydrate and absorb all of this goodiness. So like I said, I'll be making 2 different variations of the truffle. So I'm going to remove half of the base to make the peanut and fruit flavored. So once you cook the caramel and the coconut down for like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, this is what you are going to end up with. Most of the caramel has been reduced, and you've got like a nice juicy coconut. So now you want to add the chocolate to this. So we did the chocolate version, chocolate's all melted and incorporated properly. Now we're going to make the nut and fruit version. So this is the same base, just the straight up caramel and coconut base. We're going to add some of the peanut butter chips. I'm not going to go too heavy because that's pretty sharp. In case we need any more, I will add later. So this might not be super melty like a chocolate would. It will be somewhat crunchy and chunky. So just let it sit, let it melt. I have here some spiced chopped cashew nuts. And I have pistachio, one of my favorite. It's just so yummy. And some almonds to give it a little bit of texture and like that soft nutty chewiness. And who does not love pomegranate? So I have some dried pomegranate seeds and a little bit of dried pineapple since it's a little island dessert. So make it all islandy. So this version is going to be super textured, and sometimes if you're not a whole like a soft melty truffle person, this version is really good because you have that nutty texture, you have that sourness of the fruit, you have that that little sharp peanut buttery feeling or taste. So everything kind of goes really well together. Once all the chips, the peanut butter chips has been melted and all the nuts and fruits been combined, just want to let it cool, and then we'll roll it out all together later on. So take it off the heat, put it in a tray, and just let it sit and cool in the refrigerator. So here's your semi-finished product. You've got the coconut chocolate that we've made earlier. It's been cooled and it's easier to like shape into some salty balls. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to demo how and the size that you want from these truffle balls. So earlier I toasted some coconut. Like I mentioned about not toasting the coconut and the truffles because you want that moisture. So for the finishing product, I toasted some because you want that nuttiness to kind of enhance, and you want that color variation. So this will kind of add another level of coconut flavor. So about this size is normal. So you've got your ball. We'll roll it into a nice ball-like shape. and then into the toasted coconut. Kind of toss it around a little bit, and voila, that's a truffle. And earlier I did added some salt into the coconut mixture because sweet and salty are best friends, and so is chocolate and salt. The salt enhances the chocolatey flavor a bit more, so I added some salt into the toasted coconut mixture to kind of bring out that flavor. Also, a little chef trick would be, if you can, just to make sure all your sides are even, I usually like portion it all out in advance. So I would make all my even portion of truffles, and then once I have everything laid out, I will just go into the toasted coconut, so each ball is consistent. So here you have the cool version of our fruit and nut mix. I'm gonna roll it in some crushed almonds. These are also toasted. So the trick about a finishing toppings, you want it to be the same ingredient that's in the actual mix. So there was coconut in the coconut truffles, and then there's a bunch of nuts in this batch. So you want to have like the nut on top so people are aware of what they're eating. So same size, just like these. This smells so heavenly, by the way. If you're a Reese's peanut butter fan like I am, you would totally dig this truffle. And then ta-da, there you go.
With the nuanced complexities of the truffles, I opted to go with a aged port, tawny port from Portugal, with dried fruit notes and a nutty finish.
And there you have it. You've got my sacred recipe that everybody's been asking and bugging me for. I've been super sacred with this recipe because it's literally my own version. There's nothing else out there that exists. This is literally my little creation, and I hope you guys try this and it works out really well for you. It's super amazing. You can give it as gifts to anybody and just take the base, make it your own, put any other spin that you can, and I hope it really works out. And thank you guys. Enjoy your salty balls.
Looks like somebody else wants some too. So after a few belly rubs, a handful of truffles, and lots of port, I have a bag of truffle balls to head home with. Until the next time, drink life up as much as possible.